take a look. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on here between Leffen and Lost Soul.
To 4, and that's gonna be Leffen and his Millia versus Lost Soul, who is playing Angie. Let's see what this Angie has for us, because that could be a good intro on how to play Angie well.
Okay, so off rip, we're only a few seconds in, and there's something I definitely want to point out here, that this is a big no-no.
Who's playing Angie? Let's see
using
what
Anji
Angie has for us, because
and he tries to go for butterfly here. This, my friends, as long as you're playing this character, this is a no-no. Okay, this here, this is a big no-no. No. Okay, this is a big, and I mean big no-no. You do not want to do this. And you're probably wondering, well, you know, why? Because it's too slow. Simply put, this is just too slow of a fireball. So what Leffen does here to check him, this makes sense. This is good. You know? Now, yes, on one front, you can see it as maybe this was a testing phase to see if Leffen was asleep at the wheel. You know, but it's just too slow. I think what Leffen did was absolutely correct, and this is what you should do in this situation. Now, yeah, I could agree to some extent that maybe they should probably speed up. Maybe they could speed up Butterfly, but I think people would still check Anji for doing this anyway, right? So either way it goes, what happens here is absolutely what you should do. And Leffen checks him with 2K, which makes absolute perfect sense. So good on Leffen for recognizing to punish the startup of that move.
Intro on how to play Angie well.
Absolutely, let's check it out here. Not a matchup that I saw too much of, actually, since Angie was available to play, so I'm looking forward to check this one out.
Yeah, lots of players have been learning this, and we're gonna see, of course, a difference like that. Angie being a Rekka-based character like this, after this, he got like the Rekka, the high or low, getting the extension, not getting the wall break that would have killed. Leffen can escape.
Yeah, Lost Soul. Missed out on the opportunity. Empty low from Big Left. Cross up. Oh my goodness, the conversions. Look at this.
So I feel like this is like the difference right here, right?
Different to the ones you had in the previous
like Leffen actually does get some fairly successful mix-up attempts that, you know, as I said before, you know, it kind of makes him look that much stronger. I mean, it's mix-ups, right? You have to guess.
But that's gonna be dropped from Leffen.
Yeah, maybe Leffen expected burst, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, not sure the jump and
good run throw. And the good thing for Anji here is that in this situation here, like prior to the throw, like right now Anji's pretty much in guts, and this is actually really good for the character, since his guts is actually, he's 5 out of 5 guts. Like this is good for him, right? This is oops, yeah, this right here, this is really good for him. This is good. This means that in this guts mode, he won't die as fast, which is exactly why the grab that Leffen does only does so much damage, right? Like it doesn't kill Lost Soul per se, but it puts him, it kind of does about half damage here, a little over half damage, which, you know, good on Leffen for getting the throw. But as you can see here,
expected burst, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, not sure the jump and the throw.
Okay. Well, there was an initial hit first, but I mean, still, the damage output is, you know, it's still safe to say he's not gonna die. So he's along the lines of Potemkin when he has his guts, and he's a mobile character, which is pretty scary.
Touch needed, yes, straight the burst. He does not want any of that pressure right now. Keeps it in. The butterfly is there, but whiffed and Leffen getting the anti-air. Dashing in overhead. The biggest of lefts.
That was sick.
The biggest of combats to open that fight card.
Jump cancelled the 5k.
Yeah.
And then got the bad mood. Counter. Okay. Oh wow, the challenge. Yeah, you can challenge at certain ranges.
Interesting. Yeah, get a solid challenge there. Leffen trying to keep some more pressure on Lost Soul. The escape. But
so
yes,
I mentioned before about the options from Millia's close slash, and just really briefly, I just want to point out that there's the close slash first hit, close slash first to second hit, opts for the 2S, and then 5H into dash, and there's the throw. Okay, right here you see the throw. This was the throw attempt, because you see Millia's hand and she's trying to reach right here. And then the grab, because my dude already jumped from that situation completely. So there's nothing to fear here. It's a good read on Lost Soul's behalf, so I just want to point that out to you guys as per usual. Let us continue doing what we do.
The escape, but gets the throw.
Yep. Again, just going for that pressure situation here.
So, one more thing to point out. This is where I feel like Lost Soul should be checking with 6P. Because I felt like this was probably the biggest thing to me about Leffen's game. Like, this should have been 6P. Like, this should have been 6P checked. There's almost no reason for Lost Soul to allow Leffen to air dash like this.
Again, just going for that.
I mean, you have to react to Millia too, you know? But I feel like the air dash is fairly reactable.
That's gonna open him up once again into the disc. That's gonna get the conversion. Leffen getting the wall break, not gonna kill, but Lost Soul is looking in trouble right now.
Yeah, looking like a Lost Soul indeed. Okay. Oh,
and there it is. Command dash and the throw.
Sometimes you need to throw those in. It's not legit.
So, I mean,
like it's quite.
You know, first game, there's some small tidbits here to kind of take away, but the biggest thing is Leffen's mix-ups were very successful, more or less. He only missed maybe like 1 or 2 mix-ups more overall. But the ones that connected were pretty crucial. Those are definitely the ones that got him, you know, the bigger damage, put him in better positions, and or got him the ability to win the game. Lost Soul, unfortunately, you know, looking like he was a little kind of, maybe he wasn't warm enough yet. But, you know, still, biggest thing to take away from this first round, or this first match here, is that there wasn't enough, you know, I feel like checking Leffen's jumps has always been the thing that I've seen in his gameplay that I think people should be ready for, so... But, you know, that's also a skill, too, to be good at, you know, air dashing and jumping like that. So, kudos to Leffen for making sure that he doesn't get anti-aired.
Gimmicky to do that with Millia, but it can catch them off guard if you throw it in once or twice every few games.
But little do people know, Leffen has always played Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
X-Order before, he's always been a Guilty Gear fan. So this is a game that he already knows about and opens it with a schmick.
And here we go. This is exactly what I mean, right? Like, this is where Alien was not successful because Ken Deep blocked all these air dashes. And as I said before, this is kind of where Leffen's Millia is looking a lot spicier because Lost Souls, at the moment right now, his defense wasn't really on point, unfortunately.
It's a game that he already knows about and opens it with a schmicks.
Yep, great stuff for Leffen. Doesn't go
now, this is interesting. I'm not sure.
Stuff for Leffen.
Okay, so I kind of want to take a look at this. It's so hard to tell what was going on here. Like, he crouched after he... So there's a throw tech. Then we'll slow down even further, right? I don't know. I feel like, again, should be 6Ping these jumps. Like, this is like the biggest thing here. Like, I cannot stress this enough, you guys. So there's a throw tech. And just immediately right afterwards, you know, Leffen's already, you know, off the ground. And he's like, Phew, I'm coming, big dog. Phew, I'm coming like a bullet. You know what I'm saying? And while this is nice, this, as far as I'm concerned, this is an easy 6P for Anji. This is easy 6P. There's no reason for there not to be a 6P here, to be honest. But again, this is also online. Could have been lag. Could have been, you know, several things here that could have stopped Lost Soul, unfortunately, from getting the 6P. But again, there's also the reaction thing. So let me not even act like reactions aren't like a thing. But if he reacted in time, this would have definitely been smashed on, and that would not have been an issue. But that is obviously not the case. That is not exactly what happened. But here we are. Let's keep it going. Let's see what happens after this situation.
Doesn't go for too much damage at the start because he's aware that the burst might be a factor there. So, oh, there it is. Okay, spends it.
That's a good burst there by Leffen.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes, that's the one that triggers
and this here, I think, is probably the one thing about Anji I think that does need to be readjusted. And Lost Soul gets a really good read here with spin, right? Like this was perfect, right? Because he guard points Leffen's 5K. Like this was a great read. I like this. This was exactly what needed to happen here. He maybe could have counterpoked with 2D, but I think this I can't stress enough. Even though it was a read, this was a really good read. So I'm gonna give that a 3-star. You know? But the issue here is that Anji cannot act out of this fast enough. in order to punish lights. Now, I think light attacks are actually okay if Anji can't punish. But maybe if there was a way for him to take his turn, you know, or enforce the issue, that would be good. Because currently, right now, even if he guard points something, if it's not like a heavy slash button or a slash button, barring the normal, he can't really convert off of it. He can't really turn the situation around like he really needs to. Like, older Anji could just guard point moves and just mash punch and then do the spin, which is the Ko, his DP in this game. That's basically what he would get. And there's a great amount of damage, and it knocks them full screen or whatever. It pretty much allows Anji to just kind of catch up. So it would have been nice if he had something like that. Now, while he doesn't, and he has a little bit more control, it's just not fast enough. So great read, but just the follow up for this is not strong enough yet. That doesn't mean on full release they might change it. Maybe during a patch they might change it, but right now, for what we're watching, it's not as strong as it could be. Leffen also has access to Roman cancel down here. So if Leffen was actually to Roman cancel this here, right? He had meter. So he's actually okay. The best he can get is throw, I think, from parrying the 5k. Probably. It really just depends. Because Leffen could still RC. Leffen still has meter to RC. And I think that's where this situation kind of gets a little, it gets a little sticky here, right? So, good read, just there's not enough here for Lost Soul to work with, unfortunately. So, while you hate to see it, as they say, we just got to press forward and just see what else happens.
Lost Soul away. Oh, wow, okay.
Yes, that's the one that triggers, and it's a guard point, right? It's trigger an armor if you hit this. And generally speaking, if you hit this with a light, you still have time to punish it with the throw. If you hit this with a heavy button, that might just punish you, and as you get burst or can cancel. It's quite an interesting and quite hard to deal with move. Fujin is life.
Yep. Definitely, looks like one of the main tools.
Guard cancel on Leffen, run a throw. Smart.
Closes out, seals the deal for
Leffen. Because, you know, just like, you know, Chip, you know, he's a fast character, right? So,
definitely,
given the situation, you got to think about the options that she has here, right? So, if we isolate her options for a second, right? So, she's in a micro dash situation, which is pretty good for her, right? So, if you look at her options from here, she has overhead. So, she has 6k. Bad Moon. Sorry, it's kind of hard to read, but yeah, she got 6k. She has 2 overhead options here. Bad Moon. She has air dash, right? So she could air dash over here to cross up, neutral jump, and from that air dash, you know, even though Lost Soul doesn't have that much life, if he blocked it, you know, I'm gonna use another color again so we can exemplify this. So from the air dash, he can make him block a normal and then come back here and air dash again for another cross-up situation, right? He also has run up low, right? Has a low option. Grab. You know, low could be sweep, could be 2k. You know, so he's got a plethora of options to use. And furthermore, another big thing to look at here as well is that Leffen also has access to positive bonus on his meter. Right? So on his meter, his tension gauge is set from positive bonus. Okay? So either way it goes, he's still meter positive, no matter what. Now, Lost Soul does have tension himself. He's doing pretty good on his tension. He has enough meter to RC, and he's still a little bit behind back here. There's still a little bit for him to have 100. So, on the defense, had he blocked any of these options, if he blocked the 6k Bad Moon, he can punish, because Leffen doesn't have any meter, right? So I'm gonna use blue for this. So Leffen has no meter, okay? He has no burst. So had he blocked a TK Bad Moon, Lost Soul could expend his meter and do massive amounts of damage, and then bring this round back completely. How do you know all those options are options within that space and time? I've played enough Guilty Gear to know that when you guard cancel, there's tons of options. The thing is, in this game in particular, since guard cancel doesn't knock down, it leaves people next to you. I treat it kind of like, in a sense, the way in Under Night. I mean, Under Night, when you break a throw, I believe you're like +5 or so. On the person who broke the throw, they're actually plus, right? And the space in which that you get is substantial. So you can kind of like play around that space. In this instance, it also depends on what gets guard canceled, because a lot of times when you guard cancel certain moves, you don't really get, a good amount of pushback. So if you hit a move that hits from further out and you guard cancel it, or yellow RC it, there's a lot of space, right? Because Leffen had enough time to micro dash in here. Say it. I don't know how plus we are on a YRC yet. That information I don't have. I wish I did, because if I did, I could make even better judgment calls. I'd make even better, decisions on a lot of these things, and I'll be able to break all that part down, and it's even better for you guys, right? So in knowing that, knowing that these are generally speaking Millia's options. Also, let's not forget, another option we can add in here for Millia is close slash to hit, and then that branches into this. That branches into lows. What else does it branch into? We can also add what's it called? TK turbo. So I'll just put TK turbo fall, so TF, right? And that also comes from this. So you have all those, you have all that, right? We already talked about crazy options from her close slash, right? We already know what type of crap she can get. And the close slash also leads into the jumps. So the pink here represents the jumps, right? The yellow represents the air dash back. Obviously, we have the low option down here. Grab is an option. He has a lot of options, man. We also can't forget we have, we'll also add dust. Dust is also an option here as an overhead. So you have 6K overhead, Bad Moon overhead, you have dust overhead, you have and then you have air dash overhead, air dash back overhead. And then don't forget, we can still air dash back this way because Millia, right? No, wait, hold on. How many air dashes is that? That's 1. That's 2. Okay, no. I take it back. Let me scale back. That is 1 that we can't utilize because you already used 1 to go here, then a second 1 to go here. So there's that too. Now if he neutral jumped and then dropped on him, then he can go left and then he can go right. So yeah. Also, he could have played it safe, right? He could also play it safe, right? And just use a backdash. He could just play it safe and do that. That's another option. So see, from a guard cancel, you have plenty of options. Yeah, oh yeah, can't forget, we have Rose. That's right. We can add I forgot the name of the move, but we'll just say Rose Jump. Right? So you can use Rose Jump. Like, too many options. And he can use Rose Jump here too. Especially if it's a neutral jump. Capel? Okay, cool. So we'll just say Capel Jump. Is that a safe way to go with it? Whoops, let's go back. Grab this. We'll call it Capel. Thank you. I knew it was something like that. Capel Jump. Capel Jump. So I know this is messy, but I want my John Madden, like I told you guys, like this. These are the options. We have lots of options here from this guard cancel situation. So again, I want you guys to see all the things that are available. You know, these are the things that I see, right? So again, there is no meter. Meter positive. No burst. No burst. So in this situation, even though Leffen has a life lead, and this is good, but this down here cannot be denied. His meter cannot be denied because he has options now. Like, this is crazy when you think about it. So outside of running away, don't know what Capel's used for. We'll see. We'll see. Still early. Still early. Still early. So yeah. While like I said before, I know this is a little messy, and I might even bring down my pen thickness down to 1 so that things are a little bit thinner. And I might even use that. I think that's a good pen thickness. Will this trigger my eraser for this? Oh, cool, it does. Cool. Yeah, man. So yeah, this is how we're breaking it down. Okay, so this is essentially what Millia can do, right? And we'll label this like Millia options. And just for the sake of, we'll just put give or take. Right? This is a fair assessment, right? Of one of the options from this situation. This isn't 100% going to be 1-to-1. This isn't the end all be all. That isn't to say that there won't be other things that other players can do, but this is just a general idea of what can happen post this situation on top of the space between these players. Okay? So, that's Millia's options, right? Let's quickly take a look at Anji's options. Okay? So, given the situation, I'm going to put this up here at the top since we don't know this information, right? Plus frames on guard cancel, unknown, right? So I got this here. We'll put, whoopsie. Okay. Okay, so plus frames on GC for guard cancel, YRC, I cannot. I can't human right now. Unknown. Okay. So let's just establish this right now. We don't know what the plus frames are on this. So I want to keep this here. I know this isn't the best mock-up, and I'm working with my tablet the best that I can. But this was better than using my mouse, so I'll take this. So hopefully it's legible. I'll probably get like a Cintiq later on and probably do this, but yeah, man, it's the play-by-play. These Madden drops would be great content as a still screenshot and done for many different situations. That's the whole point why I'm doing this here. I didn't really watch Millia matches, but from what I've seen, I think the Rose has a hitbox, so I felt, yeah, there's probably something there. Okay, so now that we understand that, all right, we're good, right? Vibe check, we straight. Like, we understand that we don't know what the guard cancel frames are, right? We're good. This is understandable, right? We know this. We don't know what this number is. We don't know what this number is. Okay, we don't know. Cool. I'm glad we vibing. Good. So let's look at what Anji can do here. All right. So Anji in this situation, since we don't know what the plus frames are, I don't want to assume a number, but let's say it's neutral. Let's just say it's neutral for the sake of giving it something. I don't want to give it any kind of plus frames. Let's just say it's neutral. So we know after watching this, we know what Leffen does. He does run up throw, right? But let's talk about what Lawsol could have done here. Now, this is a read, but let's take this for example. Here, he could have hit low, right? I'm gonna probably have to move my camera so this is visible for you guys. So I'm gonna dead myself from this. I'm gonna remove myself from the picture here. Okay, cool. So we know where he's at. We know that a run-up throw happens, but let's assume that Lossel read right. So he could hit low here with 2K. Oopsie. He could hit 2K into 2K, 2D, Fujin. And then you know what happens after that? Right here. Tension is here. Party time. Because guess what? Leffen has no burst. He has no burst either. There's no burst on either side. And not to mention, I'll go Fujin, wall, another arrow here, die. Shanae! Alright. So we know this. Because they're pretty much mid-screen. And, you know, and when I say Fujin, I'm going to just throw another arrow up here. RC. Wall. Die. You think it's 0? It might be 0. So we know this now. There's something that can be done here. Now, alternatively, let's say that he opted to block. So I'm going to use yellow here to signify block, right? So let's say he just decided to block. He still has meter, okay? Meter is still in play here, okay? So he could guard cancel himself back if left wants to press a button, okay? So I'm going to swap over here and we're going to use blue. We can still think about this from the defensive standpoint that he still could have barred, right? He could still mash, right? He can still press on Leffen's offense, right? It doesn't matter if it was the 2K and the 2D, right? Because that lends itself to this here. That can lend itself into like whatever he wanted at that point. But obviously you'd want to try to pick the fastest option, right? So like a 2P or 2P or 2K would be smart, right? So what's this here? It's important to note, mashing super would be a valid option, but ultimately wouldn't have done as much. Yeah, super could have been an option. He could reversal super. So we can isolate that. We can say reversal super. Reversal super. But we gotta add, yes, low damage output. So we want to maximize our damage output. And this this combo will still lead to higher damage output, right? We want the combo. So I guess as an addendum to that, you know, we'll add a star here, right? Boom, boom, boom. Combo damage is worth more, right? Because we want the combo damage. Because like the super essentially would now that's fan super, right? So let's say fan super, let's say this would have snatched Leffen's life bar to maybe somewhere about here, right? Let's say hypothetically it did this. However, mayhaps, and I'm going to draw another line past Millia here for a second. let's say he opted for counter super. Question mark. Counter super probably would have done about here. That super in itself does about 200 damage. Can you buffer super input during block stun? Of course. Of course. So you see, when we start breaking this down, these are the kind of decisions that you're gonna have to make. Now, of course, if you mash, so I don't want to say mash because I feel like mash is it's so looked down upon, right? But if you decide to reversal with a quick button, right? If your reversal option is a quick button, right? Then your quick button should be a combo. But I think that in this case with Anji, you have to go 2K 2D. Unless you decide for close slash or something like that. Or maybe 2S, mayhaps. But I think 2K 2D Fujin will probably won't be the fastest option that you've got. And you're starting out with a low. And that would have clipped Leffen's run. Alternatively, he could have did close slash. Also, close slash heavy slash Fujin. And that's just another option for a combo. So it just turns into what should you do? But I think the fastest option would be like a 2P or 2K. And unfortunately, Anji's 2P doesn't really go into anything. So you're pretty much locked into 2K 2D. Even though you can do 2P, 2K, you know, those normals into 6H, it doesn't combo. Right? So this is why you have to commit to the 2D from the 2K. So I'll throw this out here in the purple color here. 2P goes into nada. Okay. That's sad life. Okay. That's sad. Yes. Backdash is still an option here. Of course. Of course, of course, of course. So we can also add backdash in here. We can add that. Because in this instance, since we know, this is hindsight, right? Leffen opted for a throw. If he did backdash, right, then that would lead to a whiff. That would go for a whiff. Punish. Now, I know my notes are all over the place, but if you're keeping up with me, it makes sense now, right? So if you go for the backdash and you go for the whiff punish from the backdash, right? Now, I'm going to draw a line over here for a second. Bear with me. This will lead to bigger starter. Bigger combo start. And that will be okay. See? I like this. I like how y'all are thinking. Yeah, see? You're thinking, well, if backdash is essentially one of the safest options you can go for, why risk the challenge of a 2K, right? If you know that the backdash is fairly safe. Now, again, remember, we're looking at this in hindsight, right? But knowing that you have the backdash as an option, you're opening up more doors. Now, you can also, here's another thing I'm going to propose to you. Check this out, check this out, check this out, check this out. Ready? So I'm going to erase combo damage is more worth. But I got something for you. Ready? You're going to love this. You're going to love this. You want to know what's going to make that backdash even more substantial? Ready? So I'm going to draw a line from the whiff punish up here. I'm going to come down here. Nah, not spin. Right? Not spin. Nope. So I'm going to use BD for backdash. BD for backdash. Right? And we take that backdash. Boom. Drift back. Because we have meter. So you turn your backdash into something larger. And then he can get a bigger punish now. Now, drift back turns into this because you get a bigger combo starter. It'll be a short and sweet one, but you'll get it. Now, if you want to get technical, we can just do this right here, right? We can just say drift, and I'm going to just use this to highlight drift. And we'll just say a direction. You pick a direction. Now you can go back, right? We can go back. We can go, I'll use double arrows here for up. You know, we can go backwards, we can go upwards. You know what I mean? And you don't really want to go forward because you might run into something, but you still have up and you have back to work with. Right? And the good thing is that since you can do it late in your backdash, you can make that distinction. You see what I'm saying? Do you backdash and RC drift back or just RC drift back? No. You want to backdash first, delay your RC into backdrift. Like, you want to use your backdash as a scouting mechanism to see what she wants to do next, right? So if you backdash, and in your backdash animation, you're seeing them move forward, you have to make a split-second decision. Now, I understand that reacting to this will be difficult. Understandable, right? I understand. It will be very difficult. But you want to try to mitigate it being difficult and train your eyes to see these things. It'll happen over time once you get used to seeing things. And sometimes it's just a natural read, you know? And either way it goes, it's still safe. Now, while it's good to go for this, we have to also consider that the damage output, while it will probably be good, maybe it'll be like close slash heavy slash Fujin into Nagiha. That'd be nice damage, but he'll be in a better position, right? But the issue, even though you're in a better position, is the damage output. So this would probably leave Leffen with about this much HP anyway, right? So this up here in the top for you guys, he probably still have this much HP, maybe a little less, give or take, but you're still winning. You have a knockdown situation that's in your favor, and furthermore, it's still close to the corner, and there's still no burst available on either side, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's not bad. I know this diagram's a little messy, and I know we've been all over the place, but I mean, if you think about all these options as we're going through it, you start to see like, damn, there's so much decision making going on here, right? Right? Am I right? And all these decisions, man. And this is just Anji's options. We talked about Millia's options. Now we looked at Anji's options and things to consider, you know, post hit. So like post hit, we got to decide, okay, are we going to get big damage? Are we going to get Oki? Like what are we going to do? You know? But once you get this down, it becomes second nature. And you want to think about it because now you understand, okay. Because remember, Millia doesn't have a good reversal. So in the instance that Leffen decides to jump, you know, I'm going to take this out, right? I'm going to close this all out for a second, you guys. I'm going to erase all this. Hopefully you guys, you get it. Don't worry, this is going to be in the VOD, so you don't need to worry. I'm going to highlight certain things really fast. I'm just erasing. I'm going to keep the guard cancel frames unknown up there for a reason. You feel like you're learning football? Nice. Nice. Okay, so we're going to erase all this. Okay. We understand this, right? So I'm going to erase these things here, and there's some stuff we want to look at really briefly with this. Like I said, in this, I'm going to isolate certain things so we understand what's happening. Okay.
What's up, fam? How you doing? All right. Never forget about that. 'Cause that's all we got.
Appreciate that follow. All right, so we deaded this. So now that we have all this under our belt, right? Now it is when we consider post hit now. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's make a quick distinction, right? Let's make a quick distinction. So let's say Lasso got the combo. We're going up here in the top left, and let's say that Leffen, actually here, we'll use red, right? We'll use this red. And we'll just say Leffen lost all this HP. Let's just say this was the HP loss, right? So Lasso's tying it up, and next hit kills, right? So let's say this is all that Leffen is left with, right? And I'm going to isolate this with yellow now. So let's say Leffen is left with only this, right? and Lasso still one tap, right? On a post knockdown situation, right? If Leffen decides to jump, we got to remember that there's 6P, Ko, and I'll do A to A for air to air, because Leffen's strongest suit right now is his jumps, right? So we need to eliminate this. As if we put ourselves in Lost Soul shoes, we need to eliminate the threat of jump. Okay, that's what we need to eliminate. Okay, so you got 6P, Ko, you got air to air, probably jump slash, jump kick. You know, you need to be ready for those things. And this is just isolating these, and I don't think there's much to really talk about here. Of course, we could use backdash, but we don't want to use backdash as a means to stop the situation. Because now, this isn't in play anymore. Leffen's still building meter here, right? With positive bonus. Post hit, regardless. He's getting hit, he's going to have 50 bar, most likely, or close to 50 bar at this stage. Right? And we're talking about, I'm going to put this as a post hit scenario. Post hit scenario. I swear to God, I can't human. I keep saying I can't human because I'm like, All right, so we're on a post-it scenario, right? This is what we're looking at, what our post-it scenario options are for the jump. You know, we want to stop that. But if he stays at the ground, right, draw a line here, we have F slash, right? We have far slash, and we have, for long range normals, sweep, which is kind of sort of all we need right now. We don't need to focus on any other normals except for these. There's no reason to focus on anything else because everything else is too short range, right? I guess if you want Fujin, but I don't. This isn't necessary. This I feel like I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna do this in terms of options for what you should probably prioritize. This would be a 1-star option. This is essentially a 2-star option, but this is your 3-star option. You know, this is because this is important because you can whiff punish. Now, the hard part here is the whiff punish this into Fujin. If it's not, because here you go, because far slash goes into Fujin, right? Even though it's a cancel, you want to go into Fujin, right? The problem is it doesn't work without a counter hit or tip range ish. It's kind of peculiar, right? But it is an option. If you counter hit him, then it's all you. If he blocks it, you're still in there, right? And then this goes into Fujin, and then Fujin goes into options, right? So you'd have to discern what to go through from there, which I would probably say go into K and then go for throw. That would be one of the best options you could go for because it's such a high tense situation because of the HP differentials, right? Now, granted, this could get mashed out. So while this is a good option, post Fujin, this could be bad. If it's counter hit Fujin, then all this does is go into Nagiha, dead. Okay, so now they're dead. Post that. So there's no stress there. So no thought process, that's good. And this is for counter hit only. CH only. There's only a counter hit option from far slash and Fujin as we know it right now. Could change on full release, not sure. Okay. So we know this. We know this now.
It's very hot.
Okay. Thank you.
Come on, Siberian.
So
Did you feed them? Okay.
This is it. This is pretty much it. This is how you pretty much break down your post-hit scenario. Because even though you may have Leffen may still have the life lead, like there's still, I feel still there's still a room for susceptibility for wanting to jump, because that's been a big major source of his damage. So, and this is only like game 2 or so. It's like game 2. So, just some tidbits for you guys. I think we can kind of move on from this, but I just wanted you guys to see like this scenario here and what we can do. Like, we know what happens in the game, so we're just looking at it in hindsight, and then I'm isolating what you could do as Anji on the defense, and I showed you what you can do on defense, and then post hit scenario, right? So all you have to do at this point, really, for the most part, Lost Soul, is just pretty much just play solid and just wait for the jump. Take advantage of the jump. Maybe even I might even add in here as like an addendum, really quickly, threaten with mobility. Threaten space with mobility. So if we threaten the space with mobility, that's going to force a jump. All it takes is just an FD stop. Okay? All it takes is an FD stop. Like a micro run into FD stop and chill and just look and observe. You don't have to press the advantage. You've already pressed the advantage by getting the hit. Now it's like, what do you want to do? Do you intend to play it safe? Because guess what? You got all the time on this clock to work with. You got all the time to work with. You see? See, friends? It's a lot to take in, but when you get it down, it's not that bad. So, yeah, man, threaten the space with mobility. So yeah, I'm gonna put myself back into the mix here. Papaya, and bye-bye. Y'all like that, huh? Y'all like that? Y'all liking the whole John Madden thing we got going on here? I've been wanting to do this for so long, dude. I freaking love analysis, man. But yeah, dude. So I'm gonna erase this from our chalkboard. Okay, boom. So yeah, man, you guys are gonna be really good in no time. Trust me. That's super dope, dude. I love this. I love this. I love doing analysis. I've been wanting to do this for so long, and do it this way. So, all right, we're gonna get back to it. Look, this was just game 2, dude, and we just took we took all the time to isolate this. So let's keep it going in the interest of everyone's time. Let's go. Let's go.
Looks like one of the main tools for Angie. The throw closes it out, seals
this
the
in
deal
the
for
future.
Leffen
No
there.
worries. It's on the way.
Man, he's looking really strong, and man. And he's definitely been playing a lot. Like, we saw it throughout the beta. He was grinding it out.
Oh, yeah. These were like 10-hour streams.
Streaming the whole time.
Yeah, 10-hour streams on Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
He's been grinding. He's been
Nice.
enjoying the game. Let's see.
Wow. Let's go.
Jeez.
Oh, and you need to be super creative with these ones now. Before it was just so easy to convert from almost anything with her, but now you need
Remember
to
the
really be
part?
thinking
Remember what I said about using sweep as a move to fish in the neutral? What did I say?
with these ones now. Before it was just so easy to convert from almost anything with her.
Now, exactly what I said about using mobility. Really good mix up there by
Let's
Leffen,
go.
by the way.
Oh, and you need to be
Okay.
super creative with these ones now. Before it was
Okay, so there's the minor run. It's FD stop. Psych. Right there. That's the one. It's that guy right there. It's that guy right there with the 2D into the Fujin, into the hop, into the gimme your HP. That's that guy right there. Alright, that's the one.
anything with her, but now you need to really be thinking. There we go. And again, look at these conversions.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
good burst bait.
That was so sick. Did you see that? He baited the burst and punished. Big left.
Oh no!
No, he missed the follow-up.
Unfortunately, is there a
Also
combo?
trying to escape. Oh no, he gets the counter hit. I wonder if that could have killed because Angie but gets the throw and
So I guess really quickly, a lot of stuff happened really fast there. To quickly isolate this, obviously Leffen baited the burst here from Lost Soul.
Now you need to really
Post it here.
There we go. And again, look at these conversions from.
And that was a good burst, but unfortunately baited.
Okay. Yo, he bet that was so sick.
And
Did you see that? He baited the burst and
Good,
punished.
good punish.
Left.
Oh no!
No, he missed the
Excuse me.
follow-up.
Unfortunately missed that. Now, Lawso uses blue RC to save himself in the situation, which is very, very smart. And I'm not sure what Leffen went for there. Maybe a 6P. 6P would have been the answer, to be honest. But Lawso does a really good job here, dropping on it with jump H. This could have been easily anti-aired with a 6P or 2H from Millia. Preferably in this case a 6P, since Lawso doesn't have enough HP to worry about going for a combo. And you get a 6P into a knockdown anyway. So I think that would have been a better choice, perhaps. But Lawso drops on him and does a lot of damage.
Lawso trying to escape. Oh no, he gets the counter hit. I wonder if that could have killed because
run a throw.
Gets the throw and
you know Millia's HP's low.
Managed to get this round after a huge drop by Leffen.
Yeah, the throw damage is because Millia's guts I think is like 2 out of 5
Unable to kill Lawso.
in this game. A lot of the guts values are pretty much the same,
Wall break time.
but I'm pretty sure it's 2 out of 5.
Gives himself a good chunk of damage.
So it's pretty low.
Yeah, good extension. Leffen opening it up. I'm just waiting right now.
Oh, okay. Just wants the pressure. Oh, he went for empty jump throw actually, but a bit too far.
Yeah.
Nah, Chip has 4 out of 5
Gets
guts.
another one. This one goes another mix. Ooh,
Really smart there. See, this is something I think people should consider when fighting Millia.
yeah, gets another one.
Now, granted, it's not easy to do this, but this was a good challenge by Lawso using 5P as a means to challenge the mix-up potential. Not always going to be the absolute best option, but I do believe that people should test and kind of keep Millia's mix-up in check. And don't let her kind of run that mix kind of freely, if you will. So this is a good check into 5P, 6H. Really smart move here.
This one goes another mix. Ooh,
It's a co.
as well.
Challenging there, getting the punish. Okay, burst.
Good burst.
Nice.
And yeah, there goes the far slash into Fujin I was telling you guys about. And this goes back to the micro movement, kind of threatening the space with movement, and then placing your normals in the, pretty much filling the space in which you think that your opponent is going to move in. Obviously, that could lead into a whiff punish, obviously, but if you kind of have a decent read on their mobility and how they want to move, putting in a normal to threaten that space, like what was done here essentially, is really good. Right? So the last time, Lawso caught him with a sweep. And look, Leffen caught note of that. He's like, I'm not going to move in on that, which is really smart on his behalf, right? But now, see? Now the same space. Now Leffen did what he was supposed to do, which was really smart, which was to run up and pretty much FD stop to double check that, because last time he got smashed on by 2D in the Fujin and unfortunately took a lot of damage. Now this time, he FD stopped outside of range, and it's even further, so he wasn't really able to get a good whiff punish in that situation. And Lawso's like, cool. Now I'm going to fill up that space because I'm pretty sure you might run in, right? So this was a good read on Lawso's behalf to fish for this counter hit. And then it was just, boom. Fujin, Nageha. All right, party time. Right?
Reka extension. More Fujin.
Oh my goodness. The little hop into the grab. Okay.
Fujin, that's blocked, but that's chicken block, so not punish. So this one, if you block it standing, you can actually punish.
Oh,
Jump block,
nice
you don't.
delay.
And Lawso is going to take the round. That's going to be one.
Very nice delay. Good. That was definitely good gameplay from Lawso.
Doing a better job.
Very
but
good.
Honestly, it's kind of Leffen who gave him game number 3.
Tell you what, I'm loving these fight cards, man.
Yeah.
Okay, backs off. Leffen with that hit and run approach, you know, doesn't really take too much of a risk.
See?
To get
There it is
close.
again.
Plus Millia is a lower health character.
Lawso threatening the space with far slash.
Take too much.
Right?
Leffen with that hit and
2S,
run approach, you know.
5S,
doesn't really
boom.
take
See
too
running
much
in?
of a
Okay,
risk
take that.
Yeah,
to get close.
Plus Millia is a lower health character.
A lot of give and take here in this match.
I mean, Angie hits like a truck.
Oh
so
my
you don't
goodness.
want to get these big openings too early. Leffen is really good
Good forward
at
slash.
managing this, but Lawso getting the extension straight to the burst.
Especially Millia with that.
That
low
was a
life,
good
you
delayed
just-
burst
you
by
just
Leffen.
can't risk it. Like you. Okay, there we go. The throw.
didn't burst
And he's
immediately,
gonna
it was a slightly
extend
delayed
with
burst.
The Roman cancel. Here we go. Burst.
Not much to
Lawso.
highlight there.
Oh yeah, he just. You see how Leffen sees that butterfly and he just avoids it at all costs.
Good,
You know, that
good
is,
mobility.
You know, avoiding that like the best he can, because it's going to be a nightmare. There we go. Knockdown time. Sets
And
up the
there's the double overhead.
Go.
There we go.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
so
that
let's take a look
is,
at that again.
You know, avoiding that like.
And unfortunately, I'm
See
just
that
not
butterfly
sure.
and he just avoids it at all costs. You know, that is. You know, avoiding that.
Well, I tried to backdash and unfortunately got hit there, and then does another air dash into air dash again. Millia things are happening.
Nightmare. There we go. Knockdown time. Sets up the disc. There we
And
go.
that time he tried to challenge
This is gonna be a
again.
nightmare. There we go.
Unfortunately, was
Knockdown
not as
time. Sets up-
successful. Ah, okay, it clashed. So Lawso could have actually did he did 5P clash. So that means he could have done FD to save himself. Potentially even Ko. Or spin. Or... Really, I would play it safe and just do... on this clash, I would just do FD. Like, it's kind of like no point. What are my thoughts on... Purple RC? It's not as bad as Xrd. So I'll take it. It's not as bad as Xrd, so I will take it. That's pretty much my thoughts. Like, PRC and Xrd was way worse in this game. So.
The disc. There we go.
And there we go.
Good stuff.
But I got my dinner here, so I'm going to munch a little bit. But we're still here.
Looking solid, and it looks like he's got the answer so far in terms of movement against that Angie. Lost Soul trying to take some time. Oh, nice.
Yep, okay,
Good
there
6P.
we go. Corner combo. Pressure's on right now. There it is, the knockdown again. That sweep.
Now,
into
unfortunately,
this.
for Anji,
Oh, nice.
Yep, okay, there
Right.
we go. Corner combo.
yeah, so unfortunately, pretty much all of Anji's follow-ups from Fujin, they're all read-based. And the sweep, aka Nagiha, is negative on block. This is a guaranteed punish here. I forget how negative it is. I think it's like negative 7-ish, I want to say. Maybe a little bit more. It's been a minute. But it's negative enough to get punished by light normals. So, good on Leffen for recognizing that and then trying to set up party.
Sweep into disc. That is her B and B. You're going to see it a lot, guys. Right now, Lost Soul.
Unfortunate drop there.
Oh, he actually, that was sick.
Ah, he
No!
tried to the throw, but Leffen was out of range.
And did you see how he converted with the command
Yep.
dash? That was beautiful play from Leffen. Saw the counter hit and got a combo from it.
Really good on Leffen counter hit recognition.
Lost Soul trying to escape that corner. Watch out the disc into a single
wow.
Leffen trying to set the offense. So far, Lost Soul doing well, but
Goodness.
he needs to chase that Millia. The movement is amazing. Gets the throw.
The movement is out of control right now. Leffen right now. Here is the double air dash. And then the burst was baited right there. That's going to do it.
Leffen
Damn.
is 3 steps ahead.
I can't even say that this burst was baited.
Leffen right now. Here is the double air dash.
I won't even say the burst was baited. I think it was just Lost Soul just kind of like assumed that there was an air dash coming. I couldn't even say that the burst was baited. I don't think Leffen wasn't baiting the burst per se, but it's so hard to call this a burst bait because it wasn't like it feels like from what I'm seeing like the intention wasn't really there. It's just kind of like, well, I just set it up. Even though burst was an option that he had, I think it's more so a read on Lost Soul's behalf, assuming that he was going to air dash again. Not so much that it was a bait. Commentators, man. It's okay, though. Tarn and Damascus don't really know Guilty Gear like that. So, we forgive them. We love them anyway, right?
And then the burst was baited right there. That's going to do it.
Leffen
Damn.
is 3 steps ahead.
I think they're just very excited to be a part of this and say their piece.
Lost Soul 1
Which is
and
cool.
Lost Soul bring it back.
There we go. Wow, gets the jump in. Jump HS into the sweep knockdown. There we go. Trying to dash up conversions. Man, Leffen is trying just to keep this corner as best as he can. Wow, gets
This
the jump
here
in, jump HS into the sweep
was something that I mentioned before, right? Really briefly, is that you don't want to command dash with these characters on block. You want to take the hit advantage, right? And that was actually something that happened here, right? So if we play this back, he lands the counter far slash to H into command dash. As you can see, Anji is still in hit stun, so he can push this, right? So he can push the hit advantage, which was smart, right? 5k, 5k, 6H, and then he teleports again, or command dashes, if you will. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And Lost Soul punishes this time because it wasn't on hit. See, so you can't, you don't want to push your luck and get too cheeky with that, if you play Millia, because people can just mash you out and you'll take a lot of damage for an incorrect call. It's best to rely on it when you have hit advantage and or you have momentum in your favor. And even then, the momentum portion can swing if you don't use it right, or if you read wrong on the temperament of your opponent and how they're dealing with, the match at hand. So, smart move on Lost Soul to challenge here because it makes sense. It was on block, it wasn't on hit. So it's not plus on block. It's, you know, the command dash is negative. So you only can do it mostly on hit. So good challenge. As someone new to GG, would you recommend learning the character that is most interesting to me, or a simpler character while I learn the game? Was considering Mei, Ino, Anji, Leo, Faust, or Zato. I originally want to learn Venom and Xrd, but decided to not buy Xrd. To be honest, play who the hell you want. Whoever clicks with you, first and foremost, if you really like that, then stick with it. I don't think that you should be confined by a basic character if you don't want to. Plus, if you're playing a character that you want to play, it will encourage you to keep playing the game. So play who you want. I think it's just better for you. Like, generally speaking, a lot of people feel like they have to learn the basic character in order to play the game. That holds true to some extent, but it's not the end all be all. Just play what you like. You know, just play what you like. If you're talking about Strive or even Xrd, it makes no difference. Just play who you like, because I think you'll find way more fun there, and the encouragement to learn will be there too. So let us continue on the challenge here from Lost Soul.
Versions, man, Leffen is trying just to keep this corner as best as he can. All right.
Okay, so let's talk about something else that happened here. Here's the minute thing here. All right. So when you air block something and you air FD, I believe from what the system data that I think I found from Kadako, I think what says in there is like if you FD something, like it adds an additional block stun, so it's like 3 extra frames, I want to say it is. And Leffen air block this. And then try to backdash. Backdash invincibility is not very long. And Anji's 2P is kind of slow. So this was a good backdash and a bad backdash. It was a good backdash because it was great sentiment. It's a bad backdash only on the strength of that, like, you tried to backdash in a situation that didn't really lend itself to you. So I feel like using IFD or IB would have been a better choice here than into backdash. So if he IB'd the or instant blocker just guarded the Fujin while it was in the air, then that would have changed the situation. But then again, you know, unfortunately that's not what happened. But the backdash, it made sense. I just think it was a little premature. I think he could have waited a little bit longer to backdash to eradicate the 2P, because Anji's normals are very active. So you want to put delayed backdashes in situations like that against Anji, just because you took something while you were in the air. So,
all right. Lost Soul challenges, gets himself out of the corner. That butterfly, he hasn't got one butterfly mix. Yeah. Like the whole set.
Every single time the butterfly comes out, Leffen manages to get out. Yeah. Straight to the burst, very offensive to get the corner.
There we go, tries to dash up pressure. Oh my goodness. Into a slash combo. Conversion, big left on the offense. Yep, wall break. Gets himself back to the nooch. And now Lost Soul's going to have to fight his way back in.
Yeah,
and Leffen?
Just yet. Oh my god, Leffen is looking absolutely dominant in this set. That is another round for him, and Lost
again
struggling to match the pace.
Air mobility,
Angie did
not being checked
that much. More Fujin, bro. Fujin is always the answer.
Yeah, for sure. And look at the conversions Leffen gets. Now there's no burst. You just have to hold this big fat combo. Wall break. Leffen right now.
Yeah, this really sucks that there's no burst in play for Lost Soul, but here we go.
All right.
Look at this juggle.
Yep. Gets that clean juggle, putting him in the corner.
Yo, both tried to fool this defense.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 bars right now for Leffen. There we go. Spends 1 for the purple RC. Gets nothing from it. Disc on the way. Purple RC. Oh, blocked it out. Oh my goodness. No. Not like this.
And there it is.
Not like this. Oh, blocked it out. Oh my goodness. No. It's on the way. Purple
I like
RC.
this.
Oh.
Now on one front, and there's a grab, right? So remember the notion that we had, or the situation that we had with the yellow RC guard cancel, and how I mentioned that challenging with the 2P would be smart. But the unfortunate downside here, there's no combo to be had here, right? So he takes the 2P to challenge the throw attempt. And here we are in this scenario. And then what ends up happening here is 6H comes out, corner push. It's not a combo, but you know he's making kind of think about it. Right?
Oh, blocked it out. Oh my goodness.
My bad. He did Fujin. Excuse me. I'm thinking of a previous situation. Anyway, so the Fujin was there, and he essentially frame trapped him with the Fujin.
Oh, blocked it out. Oh my goodness. No.
Yep. And now it's counter hit too. So he tried to press a button, and he ate Rin, which is the overhead from Fujin, and that is damage.
Should be a lot of damage. No.
Okay.
And a great air throw.
Yo,
Good challenge.
bro.
That throw is sick, by the way. That's the first time I see his air throw.
That was clean.
That looks clean. I was like, wait, what's that move? Oh, that's just
Yeah.
Jeez.
Caught him slipping right there in front.
Alright, let's see back to this
Okay.
Leffen. Immediately setting
Good
the
movement.
pace. Oh, the burst is
The
punished.
bait
I
again.
think
Good burst
that's
bait.
the third burst that he punished this this set.
He's doing so well at baiting it, you know.
Yeah.
Leffen is a player that is, he's all about those reads, you know. We know that.
So Millia's
Constantly
disc
making it work there.
causes you to
Leffen
float.
waiting full screen to jump in from Lost Soul.
It's best to
straight
just
the
wait.
yellow Roman cancel to get some space.
Don't burst right away.
Moving
Just
a
wait.
bit more, and Lost Soul is well lost. I mean, no pun intended.
But
right
we'll
now,
see.
Trying to block these mix-ups. Leffen's offense
Oh my
is unstoppable
goodness,
right
I
now.
love it.
There we go.
Dead. Oh no, no. I think if he did the slide, it might have killed. I'm not sure though.
There we go.
5K.
Leffen getting his third point in this set. It is definitely looking extremely comfortable. Game, unless Lost Soul can go for a comeback.
Let's find out, man. Let's see. Is Left gonna
Okay.
close it out? Oh, counter. Yep, the disc in front this time. Lost
So
Soul
this
was
is where
trying to
things
put
kinda
him on
swing.
the side, got himself into some trouble. Here we go, bad moon knockdown.
No wall break.
No wall break yet. It's harder to break the wall in this version, right? I feel like it's like you don't see it as much. Okay.
Right, I think that's nice.
Good challenge on the counter hit. Far side Fujin, like I said.
Leffen deciding
Big
not to
damage.
burst, 'cause he's still on the life feed anyway. Doesn't want the momentum just yet, and he
There you
gets
go.
the momentum back to avoid.
Leffen
the
opting to
behind
burst
that.
on block.
What just happened?
It's kind of a weird
Let's
one.
go, my plan.
I'll see.
Leffen deciding not to burst because he's still on the life feed anyway.
This burst, I think, was premature. I feel like he just wanted to hold on to momentum and not lose anything. Yeah, so this is a very common thing for people who don't really play Guilty Gear. They use bursts on block when you could just essentially just block out like what's happening. Essentially, there's another tech to this, and it's kind of it was a weird meta in Japan for a little while, where they would burst early to get a burst back in the same round, or potentially get a burst back in the same round, and it's kind of like, Strive, you kind of want to be more careful with your burst, I feel. Throwing it away just because you don't want to have your opponent gain momentum on block is kind of like, and also when you break down Anji's options, he's fairly unsafe after a lot of things. So it's kind of like, why would you give up your burst when you could punish him if he does something unsafe enough, right? It's that's why I say it's a premature. Like, you have to know the matchup, and granted, you know, this is still an exhibition. You know, and these guys, for what it's worth, Leffen doesn't really play Guilty Gear like that, and this isn't something that he knows. But in labbing the game, and this character in particular, his options are not very safe. So there's no real reason to burst here. This burst was it was just very premature, very unnecessary. I encourage you guys not to burst like this, not necessarily because I'm calling out Leffen, but just because you don't need to, when you understand the opponent's options, and how maybe safe or punishable the character is, there's kind of no reason for you to give up the ability to punish their offense on the strength of just returning to neutral. You know? So, let's keep going.
Anyway, doesn't want the momentum just yet, and he gets the momentum back to avoid the mix-up. Behind that, what
Very good
just
air throw.
happened?
Wow.
I must go, my planet needs me.
Nice side swap.
Happening right now, the disc is gonna
Yep.
be punished.
Again, that's what I'm talking about. If you use it scarcely, these command dashes, you can catch them off guard. But by the way, the damage is ridiculous.
Oh
That is a dead
gosh.
character, Millia, out of the picture.
Yeah.
Damn. That round
Off of
goes
just
awesome.
one bad disc, dude.
Lost Soul finally getting some control there. And that's the thing, like Angie in the corner, hits like a truck. Like
Oh
you
my
want
goodness,
to
monster.
get this damage set up. It's just that it's been
Jeez.
quite hard for Lost Soul to even get his
Yo.
opening there. There we go.
Ah. There we go. He's out.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, hit by the Rose as well.
Yeah.
So she has multiple air movement options, man. She's got 2 air dashes and she's got that Rose that like advances her forward. Really, really
Good air
tools.
conversion on Leffen's behalf.
Good job by Leffen. Lost Soul trying to escape this one. Gets the low conversion. Oh, they're not gonna
Very
get
smart.
anything right
Nice.
now.
In the PRC.
Leffen with more pressure.
And of course, it's left, right all day. It's Millia.
Jump jab. See, like,
press right now. She's anything right now.
and I know Lawsoul's still new to the character, so it's understandable. Might have difficulty.
The drop by Leffen. Lawsoul trying to escape this one. Gets the low conversion. Oh, they're not gonna get anything.
Now, this cross-up, that makes sense. But, like, these double air dashes, these should have been challenged with, like, jump jab. Or just run away from the character.
And of course, it's left, right,
There's no reason to be in this situation against her. But, you know, he's still new to Anji. It's a new game. But if it, you know, oh, he pressed the button on it. Oh, throw. Yep, there it is. And the air dash again.
IAD HS.
That is clean. Leffen on his first match point of this set. Excellent play, but look at the damage to open this one. Lawsoul keeping the pressure straight to the burst for Leffen. Gonna try to go in. Nice one.
And now we can
the
see
2D whiff punish.
Out some of these air movement options. There is
now,
recovery on these.
check this out.
Damage to open this one.
You want to see something here?
Nice.
You know what happened here?
Yeah.
You know exactly happened here? You know what happened here, stream fam? As I finish up the last few bites of my salmon here. Does anyone know? Yep. His landing frames were hit. Lawsoul ate a berry. His air mobility got punished. I've said this in my video before, that over time, people will learn to punish mobility. Mobility shouldn't go without punishment anymore. And lo and behold, it's a great 2D into Fusion. I like this. This is something that will happen more often than not. You just have to put yourself in the right space. As I said before, the opportunity just has to present itself, and when it does, you can be ready for it, you know? Based on Leffen's mobility, it made sense. So, this is a great answer. I love it. System mechanics. I love to see people using it.
Gonna try to go in. Nice one.
And now we can see Lawsoul trying to bait out some of these air movement options. There is recovery on these.
That hurt.
Oh my goodness, look at this. Working on a perfect Damascus. Yo, like that?
That is a way to save a match point.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's a way to be like, you're not winning this one.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Damn.
That is clean. Lawsoul punish the wrong disc spot. Let us go for the next game. More Fujin is always the answer, and the buttons are correctly pressed by Leffen. He's still in the corner, gets the opening. These jump backs have been opening Lawsoul a lot.
Yeah, they really have. And then it gets so tricky because sometimes, because he can do jump HS, air dash, or he can just do 2 air dashes raw. Like, it's so hard to be ready.
Oh, here we go. There's the bad moon. Remember, like I said before, Millia has lots of options from that close slash.
Yep, Leffen taking a solid lead right now.
Once you get that positive, you can actually chill a bit more because you're constantly getting bar.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to back off too much, but it's still, you know, good to know.
Yeah, just wait for your meter to come back, and then there we go.
Yo, 6
crossover throw.
Into the RC, into the conversion. Can he get enough? No.
She used to have extensions like that. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's it.
Oh,
here we go.
Bless.
That's it, right? Oh my god.
Wow.
One drop.
So, one thing that that kind of sucks here.
The punish is immediate.
Really quickly for Leffen.
Meter to come back, and then there we go.
Is
6p
into the RC, into the conversion. Can he get enough? No.
Leffen gets hit on his jump start up here. Lawsoul does 2p, 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 6h. And Leffen keeps getting caught trying to escape. Like 100%. Unfortunately. What's up, Reezy? What's going on, bro? Okay, sorry. Dinner has been consumed. Okay, so here's what's been happening. And it's rather unfortunate. Right? So if we check this out, right? So watch the hit. Challenge, challenge, challenge. Right? And if we watch this in the absolute slowest mode, what do we see here, friends? Jump start up. Match analysis is going okay. We're good. This, my friends, is the issue. this right here these are the jump startup frames. Okay. These are the jump startup frames. Excuse me. That is why the follow-ups are successful. In this game, jump startups are 4 frames, with the exception of Nagaryuki, who has a 5-frame jump startup and a 10-frame jump startup on his super jump. So, buff Millia, she's bottom 3. Nah, she's fine. So at this point, these are just small cheeky resets, and they're nothing super special. It's just, I think you might do this here. I'll pop you. So, Lost Soul's using the 6H to stop and discourage the up back. And same with Fujin, right? This entire time. So, what ends up happening here is Leffen ends up taking more damage, more unnecessary damage. And again, it's not a call out to Leffen being bad or nothing like that, but it's like you're trying to escape in a situation from a character who has beefy buttons that will discourage that. So if we come back here again and then we just watch what's going on, he eats more damage here, right? So all this is adding up from that, just from that jump startup frame situation. And then we go into Fujin. A lot of damage to take. So if we look at that from this point, watch the life loss. Lots of 2Ps, eats a 6H. It looks like it's a combo, but it's not a combo. And then he gets hit by Rin. Like, there's the... Now, this is where the reset happens, because this here is... Rin is overhead. So let's use the blue here. Rin is OH for overhead. So he took the Rin overhead, sadly. And yeah, that's just what happened here. And it's another, another reset situation for Lost Soul. And then boom, it's just party time from there. Nah, he just no. So when he got hit by Rin, he was actually blocking. So the thing is, prior to this, see, he's crouching. So we got the jump start up. So now watch here, slowly. Aha. Because there is no counter hit here. So he unfortunately took this. So 2 things got him killed. So he's in crouch state here. So Rin is overhead. But this was the reset starter. So first he got hit by jump startup, right? So I'll use another color here. Let's use orange for this. So jump startup was we'll say P for problem, right? So this is problem 1. P1. This was the first problem. He got caught out of the jump startup by 6H. And then the second problem, which would be P2. So problem 2 is this. He got hit by Rin. And that would be this. And P2, the reason why P2 worked is because he was crouching. Or we can even draw that line here, because he's in crouch state. So that's where the reset happens. So it was already an issue. He got hit by jump startup frames. And then he got caught into 6H into Fujin. And then Lost Soul could have hit. Lost Soul does have meter here, right? He is meter positive. He's at 100 bar even down here. Right? He's at 100 meter. So he could have done... He has 2 RCs available. Two RCs on deck. Like, this is huge. So because he has 2 RCs on deck, he could have just went for Nagiha and Big Chilled. And he would still he still would have gotten the corner carry for the most part. But he went for the cheat. And not to mention, he probably could have just did like RC something and then super, and then probably still would have won because Millia doesn't have any guts. I mean, it's 1 out, it's 2 out of 5, but still, that's still. I'm pretty sure if he went into fan super on his the rest of his combo, it probably would have killed. But he went for the cheeky reset because guess what? No burst available. No meter available. So it doesn't matter what he did. And Losso, as far as we can see so far, he's been put in situations where his HP is always this low. And he makes good comebacks or he makes really good decisions when his HP is really low. So that's what caused him to be in a situation, unfortunately. Sorry, Big Left. It'd be like that sometimes, though. It'd be like that sometimes, though. All right, let's continue.
Extensions like that, I'm not sure.
Oh, that's dead.
Here we go.
That's dead, right?
He didn't even have to RC the Rin, to be honest.
One drop.
Damn.
And the punish is immediate.
Okay, could Leffen have backdashed the overhead? Technically speaking, yes. Yes, he could have. It still takes timing because Rin is pretty big. Based on the spacing, if we want to isolate that for a second. Okay, so let's.
To the RC.
We can bring it back here for a second. All right, so you see the spacing in which he's at. Like he's too close. So here's where the problem kind of comes into play. He would have to late backdash. He no longer has the ability to early backdash this. Now the funny thing is, and I think it works even on hit. He could technically speaking have super jumped. Just super jump. Just super jump straight up. And he probably could have got away. Probably. I know it works on block, but if he was to backdash, Millia's backdash is pretty short. So if Millia's here, he has to also go from crouching state. He should have already been buffering this backdash, to be honest. So if he was going to go that way, he'd probably stop somewhere about here-ish. Right? And Rin is pretty big. So backdash invul, I think, is like only on frames 1 through 9 or 1 through 10. So if we had to count, like, if this was the timeline for those frames, he might have gotten caught here with Rin on his backdash. If this, let me do this here. I'm gonna erase this here and I'm gonna use yellow for this for a second. So if this line represents the start of the backdash, right? And this is like the midway-ish point. If this is 1 to 9 frames here, he would have got caught. That's why he would have to do it later because Rin is going to hit about here, right? So he would have to do it pretty much now, if not like a couple frames later. So I don't know. Rin is very good for catching like mobility. He could have jumped, but he would start to block Rin anyway. So if he jumped, he would end up catching Rin somewhere about this ballpark right here. He would have got hit somewhere here. So he could throw. He could throw. In fact, let's isolate that for a second. Now I think about it. He could have thrown. Technically speaking, he could have thrown. Right? Rin can be thrown in this game. So his options could have been, in this case, go options. Yeah, throws are about 2 frames. So Leffen's options could have been throw, BD for backdash, and we'll add an extension to that. Oh no, wait, he doesn't have meter. Okay, we can't add BRC to this. We can't add backdash blue RC. He doesn't have no meter available. So really, he's only got throw, backdash, maybe mash. So let's say mash. Question mark? Because he's in hit stun. He could probably have mashed. It's hard to say without the game not being in my hands. But being on hit, there's potential room for it. That's why I put question mark. So that's something to test on hit. Because he got hit, right? And there still is hit advantage. So technically speaking, throw and mash are the questionable options here. I think they're all pretty questionable options on the strength of not knowing the frame data yet. But it's still, I think exercising one of the 3 would be a decent option still. No, stand block is perfect. So here's the thing though. All right, so watch this. Stand, right? And then crouch. Block. Right? So even if you, so here's the thing. If he went for delayed Nagiha, which is the low, he's standing, he's going to get hit low. And he still has meter to work with. So these are still questionable. Now, on the strength of, again, this is hindsight, right? So in hindsight, he could have just stand blocked it, right? But essentially, he could have still went for Nagiha, which is the low, and that combos, right? So Leffen was on the assumption he was going to get comboed. Now, he could have just stood, he could have just kept crouching, and Lasso could have delayed the low, and he would have blocked it, right? But it would not matter, because it's almost like, unfortunately, no matter what Leffen does on defense at this point, he can't stop this. He can't stop this meter. He can't stop the meter options. Yep, he could. That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. He's got 2 stocks. He's got 2. He's loaded. Loaded. Boy. He's loaded. Alright, Tam, be cool. Take care. But yeah. So he's loaded. He's loaded here. There's not much that can be done here. He's got to pretty much play it smart. But sure, in this instance, stand block is the answer. But we're looking at it in hindsight, and we're looking at what are the other things that could be done. But I think these are all questionable only on the strength of him getting hit. If this was on block, completely different story. Because on block, you can disrespect the shit out of Fujin. That move is almost like jokes on block in so many ways. On hit, things change because there's hit advantage. But anyway, that's pretty much it. He has more, but with meter, he would have had way more. Backdash, blue Roman cancel, drift back. Completely eradicate the situation. So, just given, remember, we're isolating what we have in front of us. We can get into the what ifs of, like, if we have meter, what we can do, but there's no meter involved here, unfortunately. So, Lost Soul's got all the bars, you know. He was definitely in prime position at that stage, you know. And, you know, that's what made him come out, you know, positive here. Yeah, it's no problem. That's what we're here for, dude. We're here to figure this out. We're here to discern. We're trying to understand. We want a deeper understanding of the game, so when we're able to play it, we can rationalize these decisions. Yeah, you know, Anji's a bit of a party boy.
Tensions like that, I'm not sure.
Oh, that's dead.
Here we go.
That's dead, right? Oh my god.
So,
one drop.
Yeah.
One drop.
One mistake.
And the punish is immediate.
Millia low life. Okay, here we go. Counter. No, no extension. Lost soul. Trying his best to stay alive in this.
Nice.
Oh, here we go.
More Fujin in the corner. Leffen's forced to block, and again he avoids the butterfly.
Yeah, every
but
time.
Lost Soul trying to get some momentum anyway. The burst on Lost Soul side gets the
Here it is.
dust, and
Finally.
there we go.
There we go.
The burst saves Leffen once, but it's just one touch needed.
Oh,
and just
my
like
goodness.
that, Lost Soul evens the set, but it's just one touch needed.
Oh,
and
my
This
just
is what I like to see.
There we go.
The burst saves Leffen once, but it's just one touch.
Yep. Check the jumps. This is the music in the stream went really bad, unfortunately. But this is what I like to see. Checking the jumps. I think this is where the turning point happened in this match. You can't allow this character to be jumping around like a jackrabbit. You have to crush this. Letting Millia go ham in the air? No, that's a big no-no. We don't do that. You gotta crush that. So I'm really happy to see that Lost Soul kind of switched that up. You know, it's just a player habit thing. So I'm sure that, like, as this set went on, Lost Soul caught wind of that and was like, okay, we gotta, like, shut that down. And I think this is where the turning point of that really, really happened. It happened a little bit early on, but I think here's where it really started to happen. So.
Oh,
just
my
like
goodness.
that, Lost Soul evens the set up. It is 3-3. That fourth fight card will go all the way to the final game. Next game, and last game for the season.
Hey.
If you're a commentator, you know how to fill time. You know, I think both of us.
I think that is something that we would have had to have picked up by now, man. Otherwise, we'll be out of a job.
we are like black belts at filling time. Black belts at filling time, you know, that's the one, guys. Let's go for the next game.
We've definitely seen some stuff. All right, here we go.
Now,
Look.
Black belts are
what's the start of this
I
round?
think that is something that we would have had to have picked up by.
you know how to fill
This was
time.
very interesting, right?
Both of us.
I think that is something.
There was a small delay here from Lost Soul on the 2K 2D. Boom. And Leffen, I guess, just stands up. Probably looking for throw. And just unfortunately takes that. Then there's a Fujin. There's the hop. Close slash. Excuse me. Smart move. Bit of a good burst there on Leffen's behalf to try to return to neutral at that stage. I don't really blame him for that one. I think he just didn't want to deal with any of that. Made sense.
We are like black belts at filling time.
Yeah, disc isn't active like that.
At filling time, you know, that's the one, guys. Let's go for the next
Disc
game.
isn't active on frame 1.
We've definitely seen some stuff. All right, here we go.
Uh-oh, gets a throw.
Look
And
at
here's
this
where
ball
things
break time
change.
once again.
Gosh,
Poor
so much
Millia
damage.
bleeding away. Angie Mito, yo,
And
round
far
starts,
slash.
and
See,
damn.
foozies. You see the
Angie
footsies?
Mito, yo, round wall break time once again.
Look at the spacing in which Lost Soul's at right here, right? Leffen tries to go for a disc? Oh no. He was probably going to go for disc RC and try to press advantage. Now, when you don't use super, you're pretty much at round start again with a little bit more spacing in between you and your opponent. But Anji's footsies are so good at that range at the start, you don't really want to challenge that. I don't think she has a good enough button to challenge that at that range. And it's not like Lost Soul move forward, he just pressed slash. So, that, my friend, is unfortunate. And there was no Fujin on his behalf, which I think he should have canceled the Fujin anyway, but I guess he was just trying to make sure. And then there was another one. And I'm not sure what's happening there with Leffen, but essentially footsies. That's all I can say.
He's going to take out Leffen right there. And now he moves from 3-1 down.
All right, point Lost Soul.
3-3. Set point right
Far slash Fujin again.
Set point, Lost Soul after struggling a lot. That was a very convincing round.
Oh,
Great
interruption.
round. Yeah, the interruption was there.
And yeah,
Something
I
a bit
feel
more.
like,
Nice
again,
Fujin, more Fujin when, ooh,
not enough
throw,
punishment
okay.
there on Leffen's behalf. But okay, here we go. We got
Conversion
something.
now from Big Left. Wall break time.
The big left.
There, oh, that was
Capel.
beautiful using the rose there. He already maxed out his air movement
Whoa.
options there, so that was a great one to use
That,
the rose there.
my friends, this is kind of a big no. I don't know if I agree with Haircar at the start here on a wall break. And that's something to test now, right? down the line, when the game fully comes out, post wall break situations and the spacing it leaves you at, and what you get post wall break. You know? So like, should be something to look into. But this situation here using hair car, I think this was not a good choice. Granted, he has meter, and maybe he thought he could use this as a means to counter poke the far slash. But Losso backed up. I think it's because he gave up information. Leffen does like hair car neutral. I think it's pretty not so good. That's not a neutral tool. Yeah, this is not good, in my honest opinion. Okay, I got this right here. I'm gonna articulate this in a very smart fashion. As a long-time Legacy Guilty Gear player who has played this game for a very long time competitively, this is not a good use of this move. Even though, right, to isolate something here, right, even though we can isolate this for a second, right, Leffen does have meter. This is true, right? Although this is true, I still think this is a not so good use of this move, even if you can RC it. At that stage, you're just pissing away your meter. And then that leaves Lost Soul meter positive. You know? So even if you block it as press advantage, what was the purpose? Now TK Bad Moon means nothing. Even though it's still a good overhead option, but it means nothing now because you can't, like this is no longer in play. Yes, this is still a bit of a waste of meter, even with positive bonus. Correct, it is. Can you RC drift towards them on block for a mix-up? Yes, there's that too. But think of it this way. Even though he's got positive bonus, you have to remember Lost Soul has more meter. So Lost Soul's pretty much at the halfway point with his bar. Almost, right? There's still a bit of a smidget here, right, to get to that point. But if he blows away his meter despite having positive bonus, it kind of, even though he's going to get the passive meter gain, right, he still has to start his meter all the way back from scratch. That's the issue. Like, if you really break it down, right, let me erase this here for a second. All right, so let's say that he does this, burns the meter, you know, whatever, right? Then what ends up happening here is this goes all the way back down here. And he's got to start over with his meter build. His meter, on the other hand, is going up, right? But in the hypothetical situation, let's say that Lossel opts to guard cancel. Sure, you could say he loses all of this, right? This is all gone, right? But like, he's not starting from scratch. He's starting from here, right? Give or take, right? He's not starting all the way. Like, his tension bar is not gone. Like, he's just starting from, essentially he'd be starting from here, right? So let's say he starts from about this point.
What's up, fam? You know this.
Oh, snap, that boy Bazooka Badger. Okay, I see you, big dog. He came through with the gift subs. Hey, man, I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you. I appreciate it. Right? Thank you for helping this community grow. I'm doing everything in my power. Drop some years in the stream chat, you guys. Drop some yeah. Lasso could have lightly super the hair car. Oh, yeah. And that super's 200 damage. So, our boy, Big Left F, he might have lost a lot of HP, and he might have been bleeding somewhere here, you know? Like, at that stage, trying to use that, because Anji's counter super ain't no joke. That's counter super ain't no punk. That joint hurts. This is a lot of damage to take, while Lost Soul still, you know, so if we eradicate this momentarily, right? So let's isolate this, right? Let me go with a bigger pen size, right? I'm gonna isolate this for a second. So if we do this here, right, and we say that this is where Leffen is left with in terms of HP, that's not good. Because Lost Soul still got mad HP. right? And I might need to do away with this and use a smaller nib. Use a smaller nib here. So this is what makes the situation kind of interesting when you think about the interaction. And I'm glad I'm getting you guys thinking about the interaction here. This is good. So keep this in mind. Leffen's burst is still out of play. Lost Soul checks out with burst. Lost Soul checks out with more HP. So there's a clear winner in the situation. So so let's look at it for what it is, right? Hypothetically, he RCs and maybe goes for something. Lost Soul guard cancels. Lost Soul still meter positive. Leffen is not, because he burned an RC. Despite positive bonus, he has to start from 0. Lost Soul maybe has to start from half, right? So Lost Soul will eventually gain more meter in the grand scheme of things gradually. Even though Leffen will as well, but it's going to come back so much slower. Like, it's going to be like this, you know what I'm saying? Like if he's not doing anything. But it's not going to hit 50 right away. Despite positive bonus, he's not going to get 50 right away. You see what I'm saying? So, you have to think about this, right? So, like I said before, I don't really agree with the usage of hair car. He didn't really use it nearly as much, but in this particular situation that I'm isolating, I don't agree with it. I think it's not good here. I think this 50 plus the positive bonus, I think spending the meter when you've already kind of gone past 50, maybe somewhere in this ballpark, right? Maybe a little bit above halfway or a little less than halfway. I think then it's time to like reconsider that. And even then he can just play neutral and build bar passively just by moving forward and kind of like feigning, kind of holding ground and whatnot. And even then, we're in a post wall break situation. I think just backing up, controlling, holding on to neutral and reassessing the situation and thinking about how you would want to use your meter now is probably more prominent than using this. But I'm not the one in the driver's seat here. I can't say anything. This is on these guys. I am not the one playing. It is them. I am just looking over it at retrospect. Hair carve probably a Hail Mary? Maybe. It's hard to say.
Air movement options there.
Now, that hair card's mad unsafe. He could have done something about that. What? Unsure. I don't play Anji like that, but maybe there could have been something he could have done to punish that situation, but it didn't happen. But that's okay.
So that was a great one to get the wall break.
Yeah. I'm trying to get there, the instant air dash, but it's gonna be blocked. Lost Soul gets countered. The disc into the opening, but Leffen not converting of this one, and Lost Soul trying to escape. The double beast there, trying to get a
It's another in.
Can he build the bar?
Oh,
The burst is punished, not killing.
Yo, he tried the dust. I think that was it.
The dust worked.
Yeah, it actually worked, and that's gonna do it. Lost Soul is your win.
What an ending.
Dust.
The burst punished, not killing.
This ending was so... And it was at this moment I realized I messed up.
Yo, he tried the dust.
But no, seriously. I respect this wake up BRC. But he tried to throw. I think he thought the Anji was gonna be a little bit closer. But like he literally just held dust and was like, nah, dog. Look at Anji. Yeah. You done messed up, right? Like, hey man. Look at Millia. Did I mess up? Look at Anji. Yeah. You did. Yeah. You very much so did. I'm not sure what you're reaching for. And looking like you're reaching for the stars. But I ain't one of those stars. So. And it was a well-spaced 5D as well. It was really smart. Because, worst case scenario, I think if Leffen was to block in this case, Lasso probably would have got 50 bar here. He probably would have got 50 bar here. Or if he micro dashed, he might have got the grab. Or maybe press another button. I don't know. But I think he could have done something else there. Still,
Yeah, it actually worked, and that's going to do it. Still. Number 4, guys. Damn.
Nevertheless,
Honestly,
this was
like,
a
after
good set.
seeing Leffen at the beginning of this game,
I still think this was a good set. I think it was a very competitive set, regardless. It was cool. It was cool. It was cool to see Leffen come out of his element, play some Guilty Gear. You know, for what it's worth, can't complain. Good to see Lost Soul back in action doing his thing too. So I'm gonna do a quick little summary of what we saw, and we'll push this into the next video. So my quick little recap here is here's some key takeaways on both players' behalf, and some tendencies I noticed. Obviously, the biggest one to me was Leffen's air dashes. His air dashes, I think, they went unchecked for a long time in the set, and I think that's kind of bad. But Lost will obviously switch that up towards the later portions of the set and control the airspace a bit better. You know, and it's still a testament to Leffen's ability to use air mobility for his major approaches. So there's nothing really wrong there. It's just, obviously, again, still beta, still early. It's not full release game yet. Don't expect everyone to have complete tried and true strategies or anything like that. But I think he's got a good grasp of fighting in the air. I just think he should calm it down a wee bit. But we'll see. That almost likely change in full release. Who knows? So it's good to see that get checked properly. On the flip side, Leffen's mix-up was really good. I feel like Lost Soul's blocks were not all there 100%. So he opted to challenge in a lot of scenarios instead of trying to block. Does make sense. Don't really blame him. Yeah, the fact that Leffen took Lost Soul this far for his first Guilty Gear. Yeah, I mean, I think it's less about him not really being a Guilty Gear player, but more of him being a smart fighting game player in general. Like, out of all his nonsense they give that boy, he's still a good fighting game player. Like, he's not the best at Guilty Gear, but to say that he couldn't pick up a game and play it to some capacity, I think that would be unfair. You know, so ain't even mad at it. But that aside, it's still a new game, you know, and for what it's worth, Lost Soul's playing a whole new character, so it's new for him, for Anji. But I mean, he still got Guilty Gear fundamentals, and his fundamentals of gear are still good. So